important one, but let's go on with our class. Today we dive deeper down to the subject and then get along to learn more. So those of you who haven't muted yourself, please be nice in the order of preference. Nice to yourself, nice to your colleagues, and nice to your professor by muting it. Okay, good. Now let's move to the next slide. Yeah, I guess I've been saying this. Accidentally, I landed up yesterday at 13:30. Hemant, just get rid of your camera. Okay, and I landed up yesterday in the second half, and I think Solai Bhaskaran, Professor Solai Bhaskaran was on the class. My apologies to him that I got my calendar wrong, and now I'm back again. Good. So get to know this gentleman, get to know him well. He will be, he's very much alive, kicking, doing well. He just had his birthday a couple of months back, 27th of May, precisely. You will read his book as your book for the subject. So don't ask me which edition, don't ask me what color of the book. Anything which says marketing management, principles of marketing, modern marketing, and has the name of Philip Kotler to it, just make that your book of reference. I will be going around that book. I'll be going around the book. I do not take the book as my mode of teaching. The book is for you to read. I will go all around the place. I have other references to be part of my teaching process. We will spend, as you can see, marketing is a reasonably in-depth chapter. So this is what we will do. We'll go in-depth in some subjects. We'll briefly discuss in some, and I'll just introduce a few concepts here and there. Further on in term 3, you do some more marketing, and I guess more and more of marketing as you will proceed further in your course, right? Okay, good. Then today we are talking about marketing in terms of a subject called planning and marketing mix. What that means, let's find out. But before we get to that subject, let's understand what is marketing. Let's understand, is marketing a myth? Is marketing a science? Is marketing art, or is it black magic? We've seen some people say, hey man, this guy has got some brilliant marketing skills. I think it's in his blood. Some people say, I'm never fit for marketing. Trust me, I can do none of marketing. It's like saying I can't do maths. It's like saying I can't do cycling. It's like saying I can't do swimming. It's a standard act. And my earlier slides used to say that over 70% of CEOs come from marketing. Meaning that if you do not know what you're selling, if you do not know who you're preparing this product for, if you do not know what to visualize in terms of the product that you do, then I guess you are not a primary contributor to your company. I have also in my life been into microwave, RF, been into program management, spend most of my time dirtying my hands in the tools that I do, and eventually marketing and then further along. Okay, mute. We get further into the subject. we get into a very core part of our conversation, a very, very core conversation, which is the following, is that man has basic needs. We all grew up with this thought, saying that man has his basic needs. We called it roti, kapda, makan. And incidentally, you see the movie poster out there. I didn't know till I pulled it out yesterday that it even had Amitabh Bachchan on that movie. So man has some very basic needs from time immemorial. If roti, kapda, makan, and secondly, you have what is called man needs to labor. Man needs to have an occupation. Man needs to do something. Even the most richest of the people do not sit and lazy themselves around. They must have a preoccupation, whatever that preoccupation could be. It could be hunting, gambling, or sweating himself on the treadmill, or sweating himself to earn $1. But man needs to labor. So that's another fundamental responsibility, or no, fundamental need of man. And it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from time immemorial. Going beyond that, man needs to socialize. That's why they say man is a social animal. The biggest punishment that I can give you would be keep quiet and lock you in a room. That I would lock you in a room, feed you well, but cut you away from people, and that could be a tormenting experience. And that's the reason why most of us have found that being quarantined is very, very, it hurts us emotionally as well during these pandemic times, because man is a socializing animal. Man socializes. The other parameter that we've always considered is a sense of security. We'll go further down these needs and wants. He needs to feel a sense of security. He wants to feel good around where he is. He wants to safeguard whatever he has possessed. He wants to make sure his family, his children, and his well-possessed wealth is maintained and kept safe. So that's another primary desire that he has. The other, possibly most well understood desire is man's need for power. Man's need for power. Many a time, ask me, would you want a better salary, or do you want to have another 100 guys reporting to you? In terms of a sense, most of us would like to exercise our power over people, our authority over individual. So these are some of the very basic needs that man has to have it. He must exercise power. That's why we have battles. That's why we have people fight for positions of power. Power can come. I see a message on the chat. So I hope we are just getting to the very next slide. We are talking about that. The very next slide we are talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Absolutely. Yeah, but then is that enough? Is that enough? Power, roti, kapda, makan is not enough. I'm fed up of roti now. The common complaint that people have been saying is that while they have been living in the shelter of their home and enjoying some very healthy food made by their family, they're still missing the burgers and the French fries. Is because man wants to go beyond the needs to a want, what is called the wants. I need food, but I want better food. So needs become wants, and wants become desires. I not only need a good house, but I also need a house which is better than my neighbors, right? That's obvious. Yeah, and so these are some basic thoughts that we grow up with. And then these needs become wants, wants becomes demands, meaning that you need rice, but you definitely want fine quality rice over a period of time. You say, I demand that you give me a better food, otherwise I don't consider it some kind of a thing. So this is a very simple slide, a simple conversation, which says that this is human nature, this is the way man has grown, and these are basic qualities which are embedded in a man. Is that over some time, I don't know how many of you have experienced those massaging chairs that you have. You buy them paying a fortune for it, and then they squeeze your muscles and then they give you. But you really enjoy them. You feel the pain, the nice pain that is. But over a period of time, those machines become useless because you get used to that thing and you want a better comfort. I give you the best of the facilities. After some time, you'll come back and say there's something missing. So that's a typical nature of a human being. Today, we are talking about how does an organization tap on these transition of mankind from needs, wants, and demands, and start addressing these and make a better product, a better market share, a higher price, and things like that. So that is where we are. Needless to say, I thought I need to bring this up because Bhagavad Gita also, chapter 2, verse 62 onwards, keeps saying the following words: needs grow to wants, wants grow to demands, demands turn to attachment. I need it very badly. We have seen our children cry. We have made all kinds of noises when we were kids. Is that something as stupid or silly as an ice cream or a biscuit? We could cry, create noise over it because, and then if that desire is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. Anger leads to rage. You've seen all of those happen, that somebody doesn't want to pay for the toll on the Noida Delhi roads. It's as simple as $10 or $20. It's a question of he demands that he is a special individual, and then he picks up his gun and shoots. So you've heard of many such stories, right? Or even personal fights. So rage leads to imbalance of thought and purpose, and then you lose your senses. And I'm not here to preach the Gita, but then it says, and then how will you find peace if you go through it? Therefore, it says, give up desire and attend peace. But that's in some sense anti-marketing, because in marketing we do appreciate you having such desires. That encourages companies to make better products, get closer to what you anticipate, and go on further. Okay, here is the slide that I thought you should know. It's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It talks about a basic human being's wants. There's another philosophical thought or outlook which some of the modern preachers follow, say that you cannot teach religion on an hungry stomach. So many a time they would ensure that you have a good meal, and then they ask you to come and attend a spiritual thing. Most activities. Yeah, somebody wanting to say something? No. Okay. So that's what it is. So you have food, water, basic. What anybody else can add to it? One more new thing got added to it: food, water, and accommodation. What's the new thing that got added to it? Roti, kapda, makan, or internet bandwidth. Yeah, that's it. Correct. Now, I can live without roti, I can live without kapda, makan, but if I don't have internet, I'm working on a Word document, I'm working on an Excel sheet. Trust me, it doesn't need internet. But if I don't have internet, my mind doesn't work and I'm not alone. Right? That's it anyway. So then comes the feeling of security. We need to be secure. Secure of what? Secure of our lives, secure of our what we have earned. And then once we have crossed these two stages, we want to have good friends. That's when we start spending some time on Facebook, and then we want to meet up with friends. We want to chat along, get along with each other. And then you want to let your friend know that you are doing good in life. You want to buy yourself a nice car. You want to buy yourself nice jewelry. And you want to flaunt it. You want to show it to your friends because you are saying, and you're expressing yourself to the rest of the world, that I have grown up the pyramid. There was a time when I was struggling for basic existence. Now I have a sense of accomplishment. Now I feel good about it. And then going further, I want to demonstrate to the world that I've reached. Now I want to give away. Now I no longer enjoy feeling a sense of accomplishment is taking my family out to a holiday, exploring the world, buying finer things, spending money on lots of personal materialistic things. But then we do get tired of all those things. And then we say we want to do what is called giveaway. That's the new attitude that most people have, is that zero to the grave, meaning that when I go to the grave, there's no money in my bank account. So that is where you want to give away. And then that's when somebody like Bill Gates or anybody else gives back to the society, which actually pulled them up from possibly the bottommost of the rung to the highest position. So Maslow's, when he did this, and I preferably would like to stop talking on the subject now, but what I'm going to talk in the next 2 minutes is an afterthought. So what happened when you look at this pyramid is that Maslow's encouraged your thirst for, or your hunt for food, your efforts towards security, your making sure that your wants are met. And after all these are met, then you want to give away. So Maslow's later part in his life, he said that I think I made a big mistake. I should have turned the pyramid upside down. I should have turned the pyramid upside down. I should have began by saying a man should have an attitude of self-renunciation. A man should begin by feeling that, let me give and help my neighbor. Let me be happy where I am. And if that was so, there would have been no wars, because the Maslow's pyramid said that secure your food, secure your belongings, secure what you have. And so that is what the monk who sold his Ferrari, yeah, possibly in a way. But do you know the monk who bought a Ferrari? Who's the monk who bought the Ferrari? The other book.
No, sir, I don't know. No, sir.
I wish I could tell you. This guy is the monk who bought a Ferrari. He wrote this book. He's a Kannadiga. He's a guy from Mangalore. I'm sure some of you have read his recent books. Give me a few minutes and I'll try to recall. This was the monk who went the other way. Huh?
Robin Sharma.
No, not Robin Sharma. I'll tell you what's the name of his book, but he's very popular.
Or Gopal Das, is it?
No.
Is it Jai Shetty?
Jai Shetty. Jai Shetty, very correct. Jai Shetty.
Think like a monk. That is his recent.
I know, but what he did was he lived the life of a monk and then came out of the monastery to actually start becoming into a commercial act of publishing books and actually making money, you know. So in that sense. So having said that, I believe all of you have understood Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you haven't understood, it's my job to explain to you, but make sure you understand this because you will get a few questions, or most importantly, it's very essential that you understand how man's progress in terms of thinking is. Depends on where are you today. Nagesh, I don't know, where are you? Or Deba, where are you? Are you in terms of a feeling of a sense of belonging, or are you already reached a stage of full potential and just want to give away and walk out? So each of us have our own positions, and then we'll see what happens next. Okay, then we have another slide coming up. So what do these wants and needs actually mean to me as a guy who is marketing? I need to close this so that I can understand. Yeah. So a man wants to carry half a dozen accessories and stuff on his journey, inspires somebody to package all of them into a singular product which goes into your mobile. Thanks to your mobile, I think there are less things that we are carrying in our hands today. And for somebody who grew up with carrying a notebook with me whenever I went, I find it very odd that I see people walk into a meeting without anything. I just walk in and they don't even wear a watch. But that's because now the new devices have all of these built in. That's because the guys who thought about them understood these and kind of packaged them together. Similarly, long queues, empty restaurants, the desperate need to wait for a taxi have all resulted in so many of these companies coming out with products which actually addresses a specific want and need of a person, of an individual. And the closer you are to the want and need, the better are you connecting with your customer and greater the success of your product. The last one of these right here, was, the space war. Probably because I come from that industry, I was carried away by these thought processes. So I'll share it with you. The space war was that who will go to space first? Would the Russians do it, or would the Americans do it? And this war resulted with the Russians making it first. So with the Russians making it first. So how do you know that the Russians did actually make it to space? My friends keep joking with me, saying that the kind of product Ramesh has is that he makes the customer look up in the sky and says, "Sir, your product is right there, 36,000 kilometers. Okay, now give me the money." So how do you know that the Russians actually made it to space and they launched their spacecraft, or it was called the Sputnik, to space? So what they did was that the Americans put up an antenna pointing to the sky, and whenever that was a crude satellite, probably the size of a shoebox, it would keep circulating around the earth, going around the earth. And so whenever it came closer to the antenna, the intensity of the signal would increase, reach a peak, and then die away as it moved away. So this was for them to know, yes, truly there is an object that they put in space. But these learnings eventually turned the other way around, and they became the GPS. So you put up a fixed device and notice where is the satellite. Now, if you turn the other way around, you use the satellite to find out where you are. So this is the point that I was trying to make, saying that once you have a want, a need, and the marketing guys, they know you very well and they turn you into a particular product thought process. Talking about needs and wants, you talk about it. If you really have to get your customer, if you really have to go there, the needs are further stated. The needs are stated as stated needs, real needs, unstated needs, delight needs, and secret needs. What are these? Saying that when a customer walks into a shop or customer wants a product, he is, for obvious reasons, he's just going to tell you that I need this product. But why do you need this product is where you start digging in. The more you get into, the more you get closer to his secret needs or his delight needs, the greater are your possibility that you might actually be able to close the sale or make the relationship happen. Because once you get to understand his unstated needs, an unstated need is I might walk into a car showroom and tell him that I want a nice car. I want a car because what do you want? I want a car. Why do you want it? Because I want to travel from place A to place B. An unstated need, and unless and until you ask me, I'll not tell you, is that an unstated need is that I really want to, I'm tired of the pollution, I'm tired of the rain. I need to get myself, get into an all-weather comfort vehicle, and hence I want a car. A delight need would be that for the money that I give you, you might give me a navigation system, or you might throw in a stereo system or something. That delights me. So I never expected it, but then you gave it to me. The secret need is I want to buy the car because my neighbor got a car recently. So if somebody knows this, if somebody knows that I want to buy a car because somebody else bought a car, I can tell him similarly, sir, this car will make you feel comfortable. This car will make you feel proud and it'll look good when parked in your garage or something like that. So the closer that the thoughts of the consumer are read by the seller, the greater are the possibility of success. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you every time keep going and asking them, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Because at some point, companies like Apple and Ford, who are of course leaders in their own position, believe that the customer knows nothing. The customer has no knowledge. We are better. I am better. I, as Steve Jobs, and I, as Henry Ford, know better than the customer what he wants. Why does he say so? Is for the following reason. Look at this picture. These are very, very iconic pictures, the ones with the car and the horse. Very iconic. I added the other two. 1900. This is Fifth Avenue, New York. Where is the car? There is only one car and the rest are horses. 13 years later, the same street, where is the horse? There's only one horse and rest of them are cars. Similarly, 2006, what did the customer want? The 2006, the customer wanted a better keyboard. The customer wanted bigger keypads. And that's the direction in which Google was going. We all know that story, is that Google wanted to come up with their own phone. And they wanted to compete with BlackBerry and Palm. Only to be told possibly because Eric Schmidt was also in the board of Apple, and he had a preview of the upcoming Apple phone, and he realized that the Apple doesn't even have a keyboard. So that was when he walked back and told the guys that, listen, guys, we are heading the wrong direction. And that's why Steve Jobs never forgave Google, and even went on to say that this is thermonuclear war between the two companies. So the point is not that. The point is, if you ask the customer, what do you want? If Henry Ford were to ask him, the customer would say, I want faster horses. If I was asked in 2006, what do you want? I would say, I want better keyboards. But what do we have today? Phones which have no keys. And that's because some of the marketers can think beyond what a normal customer wants to think. So this is where we land up. This then brings you to a new concept, a very, very new concept in marketing. A new concept in marketing is called insight marketing. This thought is probably no more than 5-6 years. It's not important for you to sell the product. It's not important for you to see what the customer wants. You have to be part of the entire customer activity. You must get into the entire process of the customer. It's only then that you will do it. Example of it is deep understanding of your customer. And then each one of you in class today and in class next week, or whenever that happens, we will be talking about B2C. But 70% of us will be in a B2B market. And insight marketing is all about B2B market. Is that how well do you know what your customer is up to? It's not what you do. It's about how the product that you deliver fits into the customer's thought process. Let me explain it further in this thing. This is a picture extract saying that General Electric Aircraft Engine global strategy means help your customers. Airlines buy aircraft, obviously, right? Airlines, when they want to expand, they buy aircraft. But the airline agency says, Mr. Boeing or Mr. Airbus, we want either a GE engine, a Pratt Whitney engine, or a Rolls-Royce engine. So for GE, Pratt Whitney to sell, they not only have to sell their engines to the aircraft manufacturers, but they must actually sell their engines to the airline company. So, which means that you not only sell your product to the company which buys it, but you handhold them to their buyer. The further example is Salesforce.com might be a great product. It might do wonders for your company, but it is only successful when the team within the organization starts using the product, right? Which means that Salesforce.com's responsibility of defining the service or explaining the service doesn't end by just telling it to the team, but he must actually go down and explain it to the user, explain it to the sales guy, explain it to the marketing guy, saying, why does Salesforce.com actually help you? Because every time we believe that these products help the company and they don't help me. There was a lot of noise when computerization got introduced in banks. The guys and the banks were scared that we would lose our jobs. It needed the bank to explain to the employees that this actually makes your job more secure. It actually gives you greater relief. We are not snatching away your jobs. We're actually giving you a better quality of life. So this is what is insight marketing. Get used to the term insight marketing. This is becoming the buzzword of late, meaning that it's not enough for you to make a product. It's not enough for you to do it. You must know how it's used. The best guys, that's why I believe, that's exactly why I believe that somebody who comes from R&D, comes from programming, comes from manufacturing, comes from technical, and becomes a marketing guy, he does wonders for the organization. He normally becomes the CEO because he knows exactly what the product does and how it could improvise. Okay, you guys have any questions so far? Are we doing well? Nagesh, are you listening to me well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am listening, sir.
Sometimes monologue is painful.
Boring.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to ask you something, sir. If you can relate some of your exampple to healthcare or service industry also. It will
give me a minute. 10 minutes of non-stop has resulted in me sweating. So let me get my fan. Let me get my fan going. Okay, healthcare. Let me give it a thought. Let me give it a thought. I know what you're asking me is, are you asking me about insight marketing in those sectors?
Yeah, in both ways, sir. One is insight marketing as well as your marketing. For example, I am a hospital marketer. So how does we apply these things to here? There is no exactly B2B or a B2C. We are in a service industry. So how exactly we can these concepts I can apply?
Absolutely. Yeah. Very many of such concepts get to be this one. First of all, just one thought as we go in is that who is your customer? Your customer, hang on, don't jump up and say the more sick the patient, the better the customer for me. No, not that. Your customer is either the patient or it's the insurance company. Your customer is either your doctor or the patient. Each one of them have certain desires and requirements. Cashless payment in hospitals, and I'm thinking as I'm talking. So I might give you a better example when we meet up later on. But then the point is, cashless payment was such a pain. If you noticed it, it is a great joy for me. But I know that I just walk into the hospital. I don't pay any money. But this is good. But sometimes there is a feeling by the insurance company that these guys can be misused. So your act, the point that I'm trying to tell you is, your customer is not the immediate person that you see. Your customer is your customer's customer. That is the point that I'm trying to make. I'll give you an example of what we were doing, and not that it's the best of the examples. When internet got privatized, somebody's raising his hand. Go ahead and it's an old one. Okay. So yeah.
No, sir. I think once you finish answering the healthcare related question, I just wanted to understand that Salesforce example as well again, and what.
Sure. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you why the Salesforce example is important. Let me explain that. In 1999 and 2000, the government of India said that till 1999, every internet query, every internet ping would have to go through VSNL, standing for Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited. Boom, it'll go through there, and then the transcription enabled for the meeting. I don't know. A participant request live transcription. What is that? I don't mind enabling it, but let's see what happens. Okay. You have turned on live transcription. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't want this. This is going to tell me what I'm talking. Who wanted this, please? We both speaking English, so why do we want this? Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. Hey. How to stop live transcript? Disable. Okay. Sorry, whoever wanted it, I don't like it. Okay. So where was I? So I was saying that the government said we will privatize or we'll give license to anybody who wants to set up an ISP, meaning set up an internet service provider. So there was people like Net for India, there was people like Vipronet, there was people like Satyam, there was people like BlazeNet. There were so many internet companies which came. Most of them have died, only a few have survived. There were hundreds of internet companies in India because the license fee said 1 rupee. You pay 1 rupee and you get a license to be an internet service provider. So we had every Tom, Dick, and Harry get into the business, and we were providing some very unique services on satellite. So these guys would come to us, happily willing to sign a contract with us. But we knew that this guy had a Haldiram past, or this guy had some textile past, and what the hell does he know about internet? But that's what happens. Disruption. Remember, disruption in any industry does not happen within the industry, meaning that you do not expect GE, Ford, Toyota to disrupt the market. They will never disrupt the market. There is going to be an outsider who is going to come and disrupt the market. Tesla, an outsider, comes and disrupts the market. Do not expect, Bajaj, TVS, Honda to disrupt the market. They will never disrupt the market. There's going to be an outsider called Ether or an outsider called Ola who will come and disrupt the market. He will be somebody who has nothing to do with the industry. He might just be an user. So that is what happens in disruption. So similarly, we felt that we never know. This guy who was selling textiles and wants to be an ISP, who knows, maybe he'll be successful. So not only were we telling him what our product does, but we would sit with him and help him design his product to the customer. So we would tell him, how should you price your internet service to the customer? So that eventually I will continue to be successful only when he is successful. In this example of General Electric, Pratt and Whitney and Rolls-Royce, the marketing guy at Rolls-Royce cannot be happy saying that Boeing decided to sign a contract for 100 of my Rolls-Royce engine. Boeing will only sign the contract provided the airline which is buying the Boeing aircraft agrees to buy the Rolls-Royce engine. So to ensure that that my engine works well, not only do I have to sell it to Boeing, but I must also sit in the Boeing meeting with Indigo to say that, Mr. Indigo, not only did you make a good choice by buying Boeing, but don't worry, we are the heart of the aircraft and we will support you well. So that is what I was trying to say by saying that in insight marketing, you actually feel for the company. You don't go and walk in, make a sale and walk out of it. So that is the point that I was trying to say. But
hey,
let's move on.
This is Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
So, Professor, I could shed some light on General Electric or GE Aviation. I work for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, what you're saying is quite right. Engines in aviation are manufactured over a period of 20 years of research. And competitively, for example, like how you brought up Pratt & Whitney and GE, like the A320neos, for example, which are the new A320s, they had 2 engine options where the airframer would pick any one of the engines and the airline can choose as well when they place an order. And you are right. And the competitor for aviation in the new market is COMAC. They are a Chinese organization and they're forced to buy aircraft now. They're already certified by FAA. So yeah, so I just wanted to inform you about that.
Correct. Very good. Nice of you. Yeah, so that's the point. Well taken and well said, Gary. Well done. Okay, so let's move beyond it. Okay, so enough of that, enough of warm up, enough of this. Now we get into one particular chart, which is called the marketing mix, right? It's called the marketing mix, marketing plan, whatever you want to call it. You have to get this in your head. I'm going to shake you, wake you up, Abrar and Akash, in the middle of the night. You must be able to say, yes, sir. The marketing mix consists of these things. Your entire marketing is in this particular slide. There's one thing missing out of this. Maybe it doesn't really matter. It's not mission. It's also the vision statement, business vision, mission statement, objectives, analysis, market strategy, market mix, all of this. There's one slide, I can keep it on and give you the next 18 hours of my class. As simple as that. So I want you to every time have a photographic memory of what this is, right? And then let's see what happens with such a photographic memory. This is, again, a thought process. How do businesses happen? Businesses happen because I and, let's pick up another name somewhere. I and Gopika, we were sitting out over coffee, and then we get some great idea. So we say, okay, let's put a plan to it. It's called the napkin idea, or whatever you want to scribble on the back of an envelope idea. You say, okay, this is a great idea, brilliant. Wonder why the rest of the 7 billion population never thought of it, but we are the smartest. So what do? What's this idea going to do? The idea is, this is a very common thread, which is called the 5W1H idea, which says, what is my idea? Where would I implement this idea? Who would buy this idea? When do you think this idea would be used? How do I get this there? Why would the customer want to do this? So while this is a great plan, this plan, we'll not go too much into it. This is just more of a warm-up slide. This plan is called a business plan. But we are not getting into business plan. We are going to focus on what is called the marketing plan. The marketing plan goes beyond the business plan to get into the marketing activities of a company. What is the marketing? Why is marketing so unique? I thought this picture explains my thought, and hopefully you will agree with me, or hopefully I'll be able to convey my message here. Any organization has the following silos or heads or people or divisions or whatever, departments: manpower or HR, legal, design, finance, production, all of them. And then, of course, the topic of the day, the lead actor of today, marketing. If you look at all of these 5 subjects, manpower, legal, design, finance, production, everything is inward focused. Me, how do I manage my people? How do I manage my production? How do I organize my money? How good is my design? How legally strong is my relationship? Everything is me, my company, my problems, my thinking, other than marketing. Marketing is the only thing in which you go ahead and say, I am looking outward. I am looking outward. I am not looking inward. You say, how will my product sell? Is not what you say. How will people buy my product? Do you think my product will be accepted by the external world? So that's the point that I was trying to put in a slide. Say people all are looking at each other, but marketing is something which is looking out of the window to the external world. So that said, what does marketing actually involve? Marketing actually involves saying, I have certain resources. I believe there is a certain opportunity, and I am willing to wait for a certain time to make that money. What kind of a resources I have? I have some great idea of setting up a website where all vendors can come and advertise their product. I know people like in India are very internet savvy, so they will visit my website and hence product sale would happen. I'm willing to bleed for some time and then I see profitability at the end of the day. Very few products you would expect to make money on the very first day of your activity. So what is strategic planning involved? Strategic planning involves understanding what resources do you have, evaluating the market opportunity, and willing to wait reasonably long term to have your efforts lead into profitability. But you want to make money overnight, you are called fly-by-night operator, right? Okay, Girish, listen, I have some great plan for you. Give me 10,000 rupees. In 3 months, I double the money and give you. Now, that's not a plan that you will bite into, right? Because that's again not a plan that I'll have a long-term success. I might be, they say, no, you can fool some people all the time. You can fool all people one time, but you can never fool all the people all the time, right? I mean, this is kind of a statement on democracy or can be used for other things. So this is what is strategic planning. Now, strategic planning versus tactical planning. What is strategic planning versus, you guys let me know if I'm running fast, but hang on for a few minutes till I get into the crux of the matter. And then, because these are all technically non-MBA stuff, you've heard all of this before. So I just want to run through it. So what is strategic versus tactical? Strategic is like this. The team meeting is strategic. You plan everything. And then the first ball, Chris Gale hits you for a 6. All your strategic planning is gone. That's why they say every planning goes for a toss the moment you are hit on when you're punched on your nose. Every planning goes for you. You prepare yourself in an interview with every possible FAQ that can be asked, and then the guy asks you some stupid questions like, how many steps did you climb to reach here? Some crap like this, and that's enough to throw you out of sync. So strategy is something that you plan. Tactics is what happens on the field right then and there. How do I handle the situation? So now strategic planning involves marketing plan. We'll get on to it a little bit more. What does a marketing plan consist of? Back to the statement, marketing plan consists of a vision statement. We just described that. Then what is a mission statement? What is a mission or a vision statement? It says every company must have some guidelines. Every entity should have guidelines. You grew up either because of culture or because of relationship. You grew up by saying, this is right, this is wrong. You don't do this, you don't do that. You are expected to behave ethically. You are expected to be loyal. You are expected to be truthful. But who taught you all this? These are general systems that prevail out there. So, but can you say the same thing for every company that is around there? Do companies believe that if I charge the customer 100 rupee more, will I return it back? The other day, I had to pay 560 rupees. I ended up giving 650 rupees. And the guy didn't give me back the money. So now you see the problem. The problem is that however good he may be, it doesn't reflect. I am assuming that he knew that I paid more. It doesn't reflect in that company's the framework under which the company behaves. So we know certain companies have what is called general employment for policies which are treat everybody equal. There is no caste difference. There's no other that kind of a differentiation between the color of the skin or the language that we speak. So these are what are talked about as the value systems in a company. Let me get into the next part of it. So we now get into what is called the business mission and vision statement. Mission statement is, let me probably take an easier slide and say, yeah, we'll stick with this slide for some time and say, what is a mission statement? A mission statement says, what's wrong with this world and how do I fix it? What's wrong with this world? The problem with this world is that people spend 20 minutes of their prime time looking for a taxi or an auto to come and stand in front of them so that they can get it. The mission statement is, I want to see people get a transport to go to their destination on demand. That's my mission statement. But what happens when people go to the place of work or the place of destination on time? By the fact that they go there, we will have a more efficient world. People will work for longer time. Companies are not sending you cabs to pick you up because they believe that you need comfort. They believe that you don't give that as an excuse for coming late. And so they eliminate one era of it. So a mission statement says, what is wrong with the world and how do I fix it? A vision statement says, how would the world look after I have finished it? So get the vision and mission statements right. Look at these three gentlemen, the three fine gentlemen who are sitting right here. Elon Musk, none of you are new to Elon Musk. None of you are new to Jeff Bezos. As a matter of fact, you pride yourself by giving him business every alternate day, right? Right? Gitanjali and Murugesh, Nilesh, all of you are happily giving Jeff Bezos business every alternate day, right? Yes or no? Okay. So then, of course, we all know who is Richard Branson. He's just been in the news. Okay. So now, what does Elon Musk have as a vision? And what is his mission? Let's look at it. Elon Musk is saying Earth is dying. Earth is dying. Earth is getting heated up. The temperature every year is rising. You know what's happening in Canada. You know what's happening elsewhere. The Earth is heated up. Earth is no longer fit for us to stay. So we must colonize Mars. We must make man an interplanetary human being. So it is his word, is that we must move out of Earth and we must colonize other planets. That is his vision or mission. What does the vision says? Once we have done this, the vision is colonize Mars. Man becomes an interplanetary human being. That is the vision. The mission is, how do I get to achieve this? How do I get to achieve this? I get to achieve this by using reusable rockets, by making flight transportation simpler, by making flight efficient, by making engines which can go as far as Mars, maybe by oxygen breathing engines or whatever that is. So that is what is Elon Musk saying. Jeff Bezos is saying, true, Earth is dying. Earth is no longer becoming safe for us. But Earth is my home. It's my home. I am not going anywhere. I will make Earth livable. But polluting industries which pollute the Earth, I will move them to space. Meaning that maybe battery production, assuming that batteries are the most polluting things, we'll produce batteries on Moon. Crazy? Every idea is crazy. Of course, every idea is crazy. But it's these craziest ideas which today become possible 20 years later or 25 years later. So they may have a similar vision, but then the mission might be different. So that is one part of what Elon Musk says, what Jeff Bezos says. Richard Branson says, hey guys, listen, let's promote tourism. We need new places to holiday. We are fed up of Taj Mahals and Niagara Falls. I'll take you on a jolly ride to the space. Enjoy anti-gravity, weightlessness. We'll take you there on a jolly flight. And you know that last week, Richard Branson went and flew out that. And on 20th of July, Jeff Bezos is flying himself in the aircraft called the Blue Origin or something. So these are vision and mission statements. These demonstrate what is the greater objective of a company. And so every act of that company is towards achieving the greater goal. Are you guys with me on this? Do you have questions to ask? Are you guys doing fine? Okay.
It's interesting, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Interesting, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
So another more simpler, more earthly objective of Infosys says that, what does Infosys say? I want to be a globally respected corporation. My objectives would be these. And then, of course, these are the world famous statements of Microsoft, which says that to help people and businesses throughout the world realize their full potential is their mission. The vision is to have every home running on Microsoft software, pirated or otherwise. I mean, that's my line. Okay, so that is what it is. But are they getting there? Possibly they are getting there, but there are others with similar visions, right? There's an Android, Mr. Android's vision could be in conflict with, or rather more of Google's vision may be in conflict with what the vision statement of Microsoft is. But this talks about what the money is. If I were to start a company, my mission statement is that every month I should have 25 lakhs in my bank balance. And my vision is my children, his great-grandchildren should have enough money in their bank. Well, you can't blame me. That's my vision statement. Or you want to be part of that or don't want to be part of that, that's your problem. But I'm demonstrating my intent. People who have such intent demonstrated, you know where they're in. The company that I work for, among many other vision and mission statements, they said that our vendors, our suppliers are key partners to our business. And we will go extra mile to ensure that our partners are paid in time. Now, I had a problem with, this I'm telling you from my personal experience, that I had a problem with one of my vendors and he had partly supplied or he had some issues with it. And I held back his payment beyond 60 days. I got a question from the big manager, the big boss of the company saying that, why haven't I paid this guy? So I said, this guy has not fulfilled. He says, if you don't pay him, he will not be enthused enough to support you. First thing you do is pay him. You may not give him future business, but then you need to pay him. That shows how good an organization is that they really, and then what happens to that vendor? The vendor would go an extra mile. The vendor will do anything to make sure that my requests are maintained. And how would that benefit? That benefit because my product is superior, my deliveries are in time. So vision and mission statements of any organization speaks about what is the head and the heart of an organization thinking. If you are all convinced by these long, rosy words, not convinced, you can read these. And there's some more. Airtel. This is something that I say. And most importantly, vision and mission statements of a company can change because they would have achieved their initial mission to be a world-class telecom service. Yeah, Sharath, I'll talk to you in a minute. To be a world-class telecom service company and delight the customer. The latest vision of Airtel is, our vision is to enrich the lives of our customer. Our obsession is to win the customer for life through our exceptional experience. By reading the first vision, you know that this is a telecom company. By reading the latest vision, you wonder which company is this? Just because I told you it is Airtel, you look at it. It could be Disneyland. It could be Jet Airways, or it could, Jet Airways is dead and gone. Or it could be Singapore Airlines. It could be Emirates. It could be Tesla, or anybody for that matter. But you see how Airtel has defined itself over a period of time. It's become more professional. It's looking at it inside. Over the last 2 days, if you have been reading the paper, the first Times of India, and next week's exercise for you guys is that I'm going to pull you randomly and ask you which page of Economic Times did you reach today? Because you're going to make it a habit to read Economic Times if you're doing MBA. Otherwise, that's fundamental 101. Management 101, read Economic Times. So look at how Kirloskar over the last 2 days have been redefining themselves. They're saying we're going to be connecting with the customer. So this is what I want to tell you guys. Now, let me get to an activity. Now, you guys have to go in here. How do I, you think I'll make a mistake if I do this? Okay, thankfully it didn't. This is your first of your exercises. As a group, visit the Google form and complete the exercise.
It's 14. Group 14 has did.
Group 14?
I submitted. Group 14, we submitted this form.
This one, how did you?
This is the question. We are able to open that form to the Google, and I saw many people also did.
Oh, this one, the vision and mission statement?
No, this is a different one.
Oh, sorry.
No, sir, this is different one. This is just yes, sir.
No wonder. No. What you have submitted is name a product. What is the alternate product? What went through your mind, correct?
Yes.
We'll analyze what you did later on. That is for my slide number 65. But now 38 slides have gone through. You have to do this. Are you guys able to open the form? One
Yes,
of
sir.
you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I give you guys, how many minutes do I give you? All of you have to assemble as a group. That's why I said, make sure that you get your alternate connect in. You can step out of the class, virtually step out of the class, talk to your classmates and come back. I'll give you 15 minutes to do this exercise. 15 will be better. See, Sharath. And Sharath, you raised your hand. Tell me. The 15 minutes will start after I answer Sharath's question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Basically, the vision mission statement, basically I work for a manufacturing. So the vision and mission statements more towards an employee engagement, like how an employee has to behave or how an employee has to effectively work in order to fulfill the vision and mission of a company. But as a marketing perspective, it is more of customer viewpoint.
No. The vision and mission of a company has nothing to do with marketing.
Yes. Okay.
Nothing to do with it. It's the statement of it. It's the vision of a company. It no longer says vision of it simply for every 2 packets of Bonvita, we should give 1 shuttle racket. No. It's just saying, who am I? what is my objective in life? What do I do? I mean, we all have vision and mission, right? I mean, eventually we want to see somewhere, right? Eventually, at least I was not that smart, but Sharath, you are smart, and the rest of your friends are smart. You know where you will be 5 years from now. And hence, to be there 5 years from now, I should not, my core skills will not help me. So to become a senior manager, I should have, which is my mission. My mission should be that I have additional skills employed. So my objective is to do an MBA and do some 3 courses in whatever the other online websites are, something like that. That is the point. Nothing to do with marketing per se.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. So now your time starts now, exactly 2:55. You guys can submit it. Then we'll go through what it is. So I'll explain. There is one thing called the Government of India. What is their vision and mission statements and objectives? That's a serious, I really want to see now onwards. I'm going to compare groups, and I want to see guys getting sharper. That's one thing. But we must also have a light sense of humor without hurting too much. So while you take all seriousness and explain the vision, mission, and objectives of the Government of India, I also want you to have a jab.
Government of India vision.
Yeah, some sarcasm and humor on BPM. Okay, right. So I'll stop. I'll pause recording, and we'll resume recording. And then you say, actually coming to the point is that you normally have companies within companies, right? You meaning to say a company could have many divisions, a lot of divisions could have subdivisions. And so each subdivision could have their own business mission, vision statement, which on a larger sense may align with the primary company's business and mission objectives, but they may have their own local thoughts, like a Reliance footwear company may want to have a large percentage of their footwear business and things like that. So strategic business units could have their own vision and mission statements. Then now going beyond it, these are examples of what your good marketing objectives would look like. I'll leave these for you to talk to them. I'll leave this for you guys to read it for yourself. And then we come to another part on the key slide that I asked you to memorize for the rest of your life. And I myself have forgotten where it is, which is situational or SWOT analysis. So now SWOT was a very popular word. I have been using the word SWOT for a long time. I grew up by using the word SWOT, but recently the Airtel annual report said we will not talk about SWOT. We will never take shelter under the word weakness. So we will not say weakness, we'll say challenges. So I've also decided that that's a nicer way of putting. So it's no longer SWOT, it's SCOT, meaning my strengths, my challenges, not my weaknesses. So, and what are the opportunities and what are the threats? Most of us already know the SWOT very well. I guess by the time we're in the second year of our graduation, the word SWOT was told to us, or within the first few months of our employment, the word SWOT has been told. So I'm not going to spend too much of time trying to invent the wheel, try to explain to the converted. So it is basically things which the company did well, things the company does not do well, conditions which favor me, threats which could wipe me out of business. So I'll take a wild guess of a company. Let's say let's say, Dunzo. Things that I do very well is that I very nicely pick up stuff from place A to place B, and not many of them are able to do this very, very well. Things that I don't do well is that I'm still not very efficient in delivering packages outside of a 5-kilometer radius. So how do I expand my businesses to things which are maybe bigger objects or something like that? Conditions which favor us, opportunities, is the COVID is favoring me because people don't want to step out of the place. Threat is that I could be very slow because what if my employees are not very efficient or something like that? Or threat could be, what if the government banned such a service or things like that? So the point that I want you to remember, that strength and weakness, or as you would want to call it, challenges, are internal to me. I own it. I am responsible for it, and I make good or I make a mess of it. That's my strength, is that I have some great idea. My weaknesses is my staff is not working hard. Who do I blame? Do I blame the weather? Do I, Deba?
Sir, just a quick question. Now, if the sentence says things the
you raised your
company,
hand. Yeah. Oh,
the things the company does well. Now, in case the company is a startup.
Hang on, 1 minute. Hang on. I had muted, or I had shut the. Yeah, go ahead. Start from the very beginning.
Sir, what I'm asking is, now the statement says things the company does well. Things the company does not do well. Now, that means the company is in business. But how will I do an analysis if I'm a startup, maybe just make a couple of months or 3 months, maybe just 1 quarter I'm inside the business? Will I emit out SW?
If you are a startup, then you will have to wait for a few more slides.
No problem, sir. Understood. This thing came to me just because, in the assignment, we have a few companies who just started business in the recent past.
So that, I know. Yeah, it could be, right. Let's see what happens if a company like this. Okay. So I have a lot to cover. So one of you have to tell me, Professor, you are going all over the place. Come back, go attend to the slide. Okay, so I'm a storyteller. So you must pull me back and say, no more stories, teach. But MBA is all about stories anyway. It's just putting the thought into a story and telling you. Anyway, yeah, so you're right. We'll see what happens if you're a startup. So things do well, things, yeah.
No, sir, I said, sure, we will wait for that slide.
Okay, good. So you guys understood this. Obviously, you have understood this. SWOT is, how can I improve my production cost? How do I manage my people? How good is my brand? Why don't people like my product? What is wrong with it? These are all the internal problems. You can't blame the government for your strength or your weakness, and you can't say I'm in a lucky place. You did something good, but the threats are external. Overnight, you remember there was a time when there was a company called Garware Films, and every one of us had our cars with those films. They cut the outside temperature by a few degrees, and so what they would do is, they had a great product. They had customers who loved it. They were delivering it in time, but the government came back and said, sorry guys, we are not going to allow your cars to be having that tinge of film. Now that's an external problem. What can he do for that, right? So certain problems are external to him. It could be competition who's coming and killing him. It could be technology which will throw out a typewriter. It would be economical situation, the country not doing well. What can I do? People are not buying high-end cars. or I'm in a wrong market, I'm selling products which are there. I'm assuming, Dave, that it's an old raised hand, so I'm not responding. Okay. And so that is what is strength and weakness. So this is a little more explanation for you, and then we'll do. So these are Microsoft strength and weakness. I'm not going through them. Yeah. And yeah, Sanjeev, Ray, you raised your hand.
Does opportunities have to be external in nature, or they can come out of an internal condition or a culture?
Meaning, how could opportunities are external, right? I mean, I have all of a sudden, I have another 10 software companies which have opened up their branches here in Bangalore, and I'm a headhunter. So there are more opportunities. Opportunities are always an external thought, right?
So the example that was running in my mind is, as a company, I'm running business in a particular direction, but the opportunity I see is to do it differently, which will give me more benefits. Is that a weakness or an opportunity?
No, your strength. I am in the business of manufacturing boxes. I'm in the business of manufacturing boxes, but I have a strength that I know how to manufacture boxes with just 2% wastage. Okay. That is my strength. I know how to do it differently. That's what you're saying. That's your strength.
Well, okay. I was looking at it as an opportunity because I know a particular way. It currently works for me, but I also know that it can be done better.
Okay, but those are your characteristics of your company. Those are the characteristics of your company. How good are you in the markets? How good is your operating system? How big is your clientele? And possibly one more, I don't know. Yeah, so these are kind of internal. But I know where you and Dave are heading. Looks like you guys have joined together to okay, so let me get you both quickly to that thought process. SWOT, you may not hear SWOT anymore. People want to use different terminologies. So SWOT may become SOAR may become noise may become signal. No. So these are beyond SWOT. These are new terminologies which are used. But the thing that might interest you if you grew out of SWOT is VRIO. VRIO is what is something which is, you could be an age-old company, you could be a startup. Each of it is something that you want to see it. Meaning, what does VRIO mean? Is that how valuable is my solution to the company, to the customer? Do they really care for what I'm doing? Do they really care? Each one of them give me a call and say, sir, I am Star Health Insurance. Why don't you buy my product? But there are hundreds of such companies. Why? How is it? What is so unique or rare about that guy? Why should I at all consider him as somebody who would pick? The third is, I may be a valuable supplier. I could be doing something I could be making, I may be the guy who has a product which the customer is looking out for. And right now, I may be the only mask manufacturer in the company, in the country. So not only am I valuable, I'm also a rare commodity. Not many were manufacturing masks, N95 masks, in early Jan, Feb of 2019. But is it difficult to imitate? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. In less than 3 months, there were masks all over the place. And and also ran. So what was it? I no doubt was valuable. I no doubt was rare, but it's so difficult. It's not so difficult to imitate what I'm doing. So how unique is it? How long do you think I can hold on? Let's say I am indeed a valuable guy. Let's say I'm indeed, okay, here is possibly an example. It may have caveats, meaning that it can have holes. My example can have holes, but it's only to explain to you what it could be. Okay, so I could be valuable. Obviously, Mr. SII is a valuable part of the Indian recovery system, meaning Serum Institute of India. What I'm producing is indeed rare, not many. Is it difficult to imitate? Obviously, it's very difficult to imitate, and hence I'm the most preferred guy. But what is the problem that I'm facing today? Is that, do I have the capability? Do I have the organization? Do I have the resources to manufacture 10 million of those dosages, 10 billion of those dosages? Yes, I am required, but I do not have the strength to manufacture in the speed in which the world wants it. And hence, the world may look elsewhere for a solution. And that's why today we no longer depend exclusively on however valuable the Covishield could be, however rare it could be, and however difficult it could be. He has his own limitation in ability to manufacture a number that we want. So VRIO is an other thought process that can go in. Even if it's a startup, I know it's a great idea for you to have a product, but do people really care? Do you think people will pay that 99 rupees per month to download a premium version of it? Do you think it's possible for somebody else to just do another version of it? Do you think it really addresses a pain point of the thing? Okay, at some point, the question was, can WhatsApp handle, it's great, can it handle 100 million messages a minute or something like that? Means that, does it have that capability to go up very well? I used to always give this example in a very jovial manner that I used to try explaining to the students, your own colleagues and seniors. I would talk about me having an office in Koramangala, and one fine day I was driving back. I found this thing called 99 varieties of dosa. I could never imagine in my life that there could ever be 99 varieties of dosa. And I thought that's a great idea. I drove back home, picked up my wife, and pulled her in the midst of an heavy traffic to eat there. But then I noticed that on my way back, there were at least 4 more of such cart guys who are having these 99 varieties of dosa. So while that might be a great idea, it's an idea that can be easily copied. So how is it possible that you could even survive in such an environment? Further explanation of what I'm saying. Do you have a competitive advantage? Does the value that you give neutralize your competition? No, it does not neutralize your competition. How rare is it? Do you have a rarity in your solution? If you are rare, move forward. If you are not rare, you might have a temporary advantage. You may have a temporary advantage, and over a period of time, people, lots and lots of them will come and do away and get over. Imitability. Imitability is how easy is it to duplicate what you're doing in other places. I always give this example. Again, I have built more friends among the students on a singular example like this, is that I invite them all to a chaat wala next to my house. This guy, if you guys know Jainagar very well, this guy makes some brilliant tomato chaats, and he's the only guy who knows how to do it. Very, very. Value, to hell with value. Rarity, to hell with rarity. Imitability, impossible. The kind of chart that he makes, nobody can beat him. But how is he an ultra rich guy? Is he filthily rich? Unfortunately, is not. Why? Is because he doesn't have an organization to support him. Can he open 100 outlets? Impossible, because everything boils down to that single individual's ability to not only slice the tomatoes in a unique fashion, or the ability to use the sweat and the salts and the masalas into a tasty chaat. No, you can't do it. But if McDonald's can do it, they would do it in 100,000 outlets overnight. Starbucks can have a unique proposition and open up 100 outlets in no time. Why? Because they have an organization capability to do it. So this is what is VRIO. VRIO is how valuable, how rare, how imitable. It's easy for somebody to come back and do exactly what you did. I have a unique mosquito mat, which has a blue light coming out, because I'm told a blue light attracts insects. Yeah, great idea, but nothing unique about it. Somebody else can imitate it so very easily. So, and then of course, organization. So this gives you an alternate thought process, all within you, nothing to do externally. Or if it is externally, it is also in a very thin mode. So this gives you an alternate thought to SWOT. So both of you, Deb and Sanjeev, I hope I've been able to drive answer to your question. And to the rest of you, have you been following me? Questions?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so Nagesh, you want this address? No, it doesn't come that easily. You think it comes? No way. Yeah, you have to sign a contract.
Sure,
You'll do that?
I know, Professor.
Pardon?
I know. My manager also told me in Jayanagar Chatwala shop is very good like that. So correct. I will take address from him, then I will share to Nagesh.
Okay. Good. Right. So, guys.
Question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The organization part of it. Again, from the perspective of a startup, can you call a startup organized or highly organized, considering, they wouldn't have a, enterprise management system or anything in place? So is it only looking at it from the resource perspective, or is it also technologically whether they are able to deliver? So what are the aspects that you need to consider when you are talking about organization in the VRIO model?
Okay. So who's that? Gopika, I thought, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Gopika, one short answer is hang on for my next slide. But then I know what you're saying is that assuming that you have a product, an app, a company which is very, you come out with where was that? Off late, we've been within my organization, we've been forcing every one of us to think beyond email. And we are pushing people to look at Slack. I don't know how many of you think that's a good idea.
Good idea, sir.
Slack. Pardon?
Good idea.
Good idea. Thanks.
Yeah.
Because we're telling people that.
Excellent tool, sir.
Excellent tool, right? So we're just pushing them. So there's a value to that. So maybe you have a product that does something very valuable, rare, and then all that. But you still, how do I say? You're still the flower in the forest. You know what that means? That if you are a flower in the forest, you're not noticed. Whereas if you're in the flower in the Lal Bagh Independence Day flower show, there are 100,000 people who's going to look at the flower and appreciate it. So the point is, you may have a thing, but you do not have the organizational capability to expand to the all corners of the world and to support 100,000 customers. So in such a case, you may be technically competent, but then you don't have organization, meaning translating to resources to move forward. So that's the point that I was trying to say.
Got it.
Got it. So now, Gupika, if you believe you crossed the V hurdle, the R hurdle, the I hurdle, you're stuck with the O hurdle, what would you do? You may want to have a prospective investor, correct?
Yes.
You tell him, sir, I want to, we have a product, I want to do an investment. We want another first round. What are those rounds called? Angel investment, then what is it? Series A, then all those type of things. So you may say, people, would you be interested in investing into my organization? Now, you will tell the investor the SWOT story, you will tell the investor the VRIO story and believe that he is happy with it. But the investor has his own benchmarks. The investor measures the world differently. You measure the world differently, the investor measures the world. How does the investor measure the world? This is another slide on that, correct? Yeah, this is McDonald's. See, some slides, and I'm telling you again, are for you to read to further state what I'm trying to say, okay? We're going to marginally or temporarily move over from these slides. I'll come back to them later. And I'll move because I want to get to, since you people are thinking about the thing, let me go to it. Okay, so I'll move them. So what we were looking at, Gopika's problem was that she had everything great about her business, but then she was kind of stuck in the O part of it. Now, how does the world of business look like? How does the market look like? How does the opportunities look like? We are now introducing you to a new term, which is very, very recently coined, which is called the red ocean and the blue ocean theory. What does the red ocean and the blue ocean theory state? Listen to me carefully, is that a red ocean states that it's an existing market. It's a market where there are existing competitors. It's a market where you have to beat the competition. It's a market where you have to, I'm reading these lines, I'm reading these, you have to be competitive. So a red ocean strategy is, or a red ocean market is a market where there are existing players. The market is very well defined. You are saying that I want to produce, Zomato is making money, Swiggy is making money. So I want to start off a new chain of food delivery called Ramesh or whatever that is. And hence, I'm not inventing something new. I'm not inventing something different. I am inventing something which is already existing. There are people into the market. And then how do I differentiate it? I have to differentiate it by a competitive advantage. What is that uniqueness that I would deliver? What is the segment? We will understand the word segment later on. Why would they want to come to me? Why would they want to come to me? So this is red ocean strategy. Red ocean strategy is the best example of red ocean strategy being very successful is that, hey guys, you will have to manage with breaks when I give you assignments. Are you guys fine with it, or do you need a bio break or something? Your answers.
5 minutes, sir. Maybe.
5 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes after I'm done with this particular slide. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So these are what is called the best example of red ocean is geo. Jio entered a market which was already filled with half a dozen telecom players, right? There was Idea, there was No Idea, there was what is it? Aircell, there was hundreds of such, BSNL, and of course, all of them. But Jio had the guts to enter a red ocean, red signifying blood, meaning that you will bleed to make money in the market. But how uniquely Jio entered, that it made sure that everybody else bled and they made money. So that is a red ocean strategy. A red ocean strategy is a unique selling point is not really the thing. Unique selling point is more like my pen has 2 colors refill or something like that. It's nothing. It's not. This is like entering into a market which is a killing market. Okay. Whereas a blue ocean strategy, as you would know, is creating an uncontested market. Alexa. What is the equivalent of Alexa? There wasn't any so far. So you get into a totally new, or iWatch. iWatch is another good example of the Apple Watch or the iWatch. So you make the competition irrelevant. There is no question of competition here. So you, of course, may have to talk about low cost, but it's all about value innovation. You attract non-customers. You create a totally new set of businesses. You create a totally new set of people who want to take the service. So I was among the first who picked up Alexa, and I picked it up because I for the fun of it. So we didn't even know what wealth could be used other than my neighbor boy coming and asking all kinds of funny questions. But now it's a market that's grown. So that is what is called as a blue ocean strategy and a red ocean strategy. Any questions on this? No? Okay. I'm going to give you no more than 5 minutes break because I'll tell you why. We're still on 67. Then we come back. I'm going to leave you with this 1 5-minute thought on this. Then I have to do Magic Quadrant. This is very important. And once I'm done that, I'm going to give you another assignment. You could use that also for another break. So serious 5-minute break, 3:28. Let's make it 3:30 plus 5. 3:35, let's reassemble. Okay? I'm going to skip this slide for the moment because it's not there. So if you have understood VRIO and if you have understood red and blue oceans, let's look at another thing saying that how are these markets? Are these markets worth sustaining? Do you think it's worth investing into an organization? Is it really worth, in the sense that what kind of an edge? I'm trying not to read these slides and give another thought process. Is that what kind of an edge that you have in the market that you are located in? And where are your competitor positioned? Why is it that some companies are happy in certain pockets of the world and not really truly global? So this is something that we'll try to appreciate in the next circle. So Magic Quadrant is something that I am introducing to the students for the very first time. Magic Quadrant was something that was not talked about by me in the previous classes. The idea is to bring in some new innovation to thought. The Magic Quadrant is now becoming a default way of looking at how companies on similar platforms companies in similar sectors are behaving. And how do I, as someone interested in this market, someone interested in this business, how do I see this? I'm not looking at it from within the company, meaning I'm not looking and doing a SWOT analysis. And definitely, I'm not even doing a VRIO, because a VRIO is again the company doing that exercise. How smart am I? How rare am I? How unique am I? Is it I kind of a thought that is happening both on SWOT and as well as in VRIO. But here, it's like me standing outside looking at the sector and saying, wow, what an active sector the new electric scooter market is. Wow. Who are the top players? Who are the leaders in the electric scooter market? Who do you think would actually, the leaders are somebody X, A, B, and C. But who do you think can actually challenge them? And why are they not challenging them? That's the question. There are also some great players, but they are confined to certain key markets. There's a great player called some company, but they're so good in the Indonesian market, or they're so good in they have predominantly a large say in southern India. So they may be great markets. They may be, there are leaders, there are challengers, and then there are niche players. And there are visionaries. Who are visionaries? We'll talk about them later. Visionaries, they have some great ideas, but they don't have the ability to convert that ideas into something great to become leaders. So if I want to invest in this sector, I might want to look at who are the leaders, who are the challengers, who are the niche players, and who are the visionaries. So coming back to what Gopika started off, if she wants to come and reach out to me as an investor and say, sir, I want you to invest $10 million, $100 million into my company, I might first of all want to position her in one of these areas. Is she already a leader? Is her company going to truly challenge the leader? Or am I going to be happy with the fact that she is going to address only the medical sector in a large possible area of business? Or do they have something very great thoughts in them, but they're struggling in their ability to execute? So look at two columns here, or the X and the Y axis. X axis says that completeness of vision. Y axis, ability to execute. Ability to execute is an organizational feature. So that's something that we will spend in the next 10 minutes talking about it. So challengers, leaders, niche markets, and visionaries. Leaders execute well in their correct position, and they are positioned to do well tomorrow. That means that leaders know exactly where they are going. They are high on the ability to execute market. They are high in their completeness of vision. They really know which way the market is heading. They know how to go towards that market. Take any example. We'll take about examples later. I'm going to give you a Google form in which you have to create your own example and do it. So challengers have the ability to execute, but they don't have the completeness and the vision. That could be for many reasons. One example that is very commonly found, and possibly I have it here. No, okay, I haven't pasted it. One of the examples that we can take is leaders is like Zoom. Despite all the challenges, Zoom has really been a leader. Every time you see Zoom doing something new, they know they know the vision of this market. But they have Google Meet as a challenger. There is Cisco WebEx as a challenger. But why are they not getting into the leadership position? Is because Of course, they have the ability to execute. They have executed so many of their other products very well, but they don't have the completeness, and they don't really know how do you think this market will go, because they are focused elsewhere. They are focused on some other, they're focused in doing 10 other things. And so this is one among the 10 things that they're doing. But leaders, this is one of their key things that they are doing. So that is what it is. Niche markets are those who are doing very, very well. 1 minute. Niche markets are people who are happy addressing, maybe Infosys very happy addressing the banking sector market, while they may be capable of addressing all kinds of sectors. Visionaries they know exactly how the market will look like. They know, somebody like Dunzo, when they started off, everybody must have laughed at them. They knew exactly what they were planning to do, but they didn't have the resources. They didn't really move it. They needed a big player to come and invest in them. That's when Google came in and invested. They invested not only money, they invested technology. So visionaries can then become leaders in this market. Any questions you guys have? I thought somebody wanted to say something. Okay, good, no problem. So more about each of these guys. You can read it out, but we'll understand what is ability to execute mean. Is that their product or service is truly good. They know how to price their product. They know how to make sure that their product is well delivered in the market. Their response to the market is very good. The initial problems of Zoom, if you look at it, was that they were saying that it was not very secure. The data was actually landing up in China. And then there were lots of other things. How did they kind of respond to that thing? They responded it brilliantly. They were able to, now if you click on it, you exactly know where your data is being stored. So they knew how to respond to a market. They have done market execution very well. Nowadays, if you're somebody using Zoom, you see that every time there are some new experiences that they do it. And completion of vision is what they went out to achieve. They achieve it. They offer products. I mean, you read all of this, right? So this is what is the talk about the magic quadrant. You can read more and about these two. Now I want you guys, what is the time? I'll give you another 15 minutes. I want you to fill up this form, and then we will go ahead and complete the rest of the class between 4 and 4:30 or 4:40. Okay. Of course, if you haven't understood any of what I've said, you may be new to this subject. I can go around it 10 times, 100 times and explain. Any questions? Are you all very clear? Let me randomly ask some of you. Ashok, group. Sharat, group. Always group. Hey. Ashwin, are you following? Gagan?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Are you following? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you with me? Okay, anybody else who has, let me randomly ask a name. Priyanka?
All good, sir. So
all
far.
good, all good, all good. Let me pick up Gautam Das. Gautam Das, are you there? Then who else should I say? Lakshmi N. Do you understand red ocean, blue ocean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me pick up one from Pratik Prusty.
Yes,
Hi.
sir.
Are you following the VRIO and the Magic Quadrant?
Yes, sir. This is my first class, so I'm trying to understand that.
Yeah. So why am I pointing at you and asking you is if you haven't understood, it's my job to explain. So I just want to.
Yes, I will try to understand and I'll go.
Okay, perfect.
Hello.
So guys, go ahead and complete this work. Let's see how it goes. Which then brings me up to the next part, which is, let's see how many of you have done this. Rainwater harvesting, digital India, connecting every last Indian to technology, collect waste. Okay. Recent vision and mission responses.
Sir, is this a group activity?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I hope you guys have some parallel communication channel, right?
Yes, sir, we do have, but we dropped off. Anyways, we can connect quickly.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that you should connect.
Yeah.
We'll, 4 o'clock. Idea is quickly pick up something which you guys have agreed upon and post it. Just understanding how.
Sir, can you open this link on the screen, sir, for everyone else to see?
Which link? You want the link again?
No, this form, if you can open, sir.
You want me to open the form? Or you want the link to the form? This is a link to the form. Do you want me to open it? I can do one thing. Yeah, I can share this. New share. Yes, you can see this. Select 2 oceans or markets and give a brief explanation. So give me an example of red ocean. Give me an example of blue ocean. And then take any 2 technologies, name 2 companies and position them on the Magic Quadrant. You say you take something from the OTT market or something, anything, or electric scooters and say, I know this company is actually in leader position. Another company is in some other position. Something very simple. Quickly do this and let's move on. Okay, good. I'll take something like this. Quickly move on. Correct. Yeah. Then what do we have? Okay. Yeah, we will finish this off. Yeah, I think I'll finish this today. Definitely. So maximum, I'll go till about 4:35 or so today, which I think generally should be okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Sir, once can you explain that blue ocean, red ocean? I just got confused. Once again, can you repeat
Which
it?
one?
The blue ocean market and red ocean.
Okay. Who
And
else? I need two people to ask that question. Anybody else who wants me to explain? It looks like you're alone, my friend.
Oh, yes, sir. Please, sir.
But I will explain to you. I'll go beyond blue and red. I'll give you all colors today. Okay. So everybody listen to this carefully. This is pain. This is delight. How much pain should you go through to achieve success? You as the company. How much delight will you give to the customer? So a blue ocean is an innovation. So infinite delight. Now, nobody thought of it. Let's say you come up with a phone, or with a watch, which not only measures your pulse, it also measures your heart rate, it measures your sugar, it measures your BP, it measures your cholesterol and all that. Nobody thought of it. And it'll give you great delight. And somebody who's got words we never knew, who are comorbid. Did you ever know this word before Feb 19? At least I didn't know. So people who are comorbid, they are delighted with this product. Or so you come up with a product which is so unique that you delight the customer. And the customer doesn't really care what price he's going to pay for it. But in a red ocean strategy, you are trying to sell salt. You are trying to sell rice. So how does Dawat or India Gate sell in a market so crowded? How is the rice that you sell different from the other rice? How is Tata Namak different from somebody else? Very, very difficult. You cannot, there's no delight. There is nothing in that product that can delight me. But you still are entering into the market. How do you kill it? So if you've understood blue ocean, and if you understood red ocean, let's look at what is the meaning of the green ocean. The green ocean means that how effective do you do your business? How efficient is your production? How minimal is your waste? You are not doing anything new. You are still in the pain part of the business. The delight to the customer is very less, but you come up with something which is very, very innovative. So like, for example, Indigo. Indigo is trying to come up with faster turnaround. The turnaround, the aircraft will be in the terminal only for 40 minutes. It'll just go around. This is the LO markets, luxury spot. Now, iWatch is competing with Apple iWatch, right? Whatever it's called. It is competing with Rolex. It is competing with, let's say, the other bigger, let's say, more expensive watches. So when you go and buy yourself a Rolex watch or a Tag Heuer watch, you don't worry about price. It's great delight, but what is new about the product? There's nothing new about the product. It's still a pain for you. It's still nothing on this cycle, it is low. But people, there's no differentiator, but people are buying those watches. That is what it is. Example of no man island or an oasis, let's say you want to take a sweet spot. Sweet spot is niche market. You are the only provider of, let's say, the example is, there's a company which is, what is the name of that company? Fuji. I think it's Fuji. Fuji and Kodak were doing business in photo films, and digital cameras came and destroyed the market. But Fuji went into a sweet spot market. They went into hospital industry. So they went into radio, X-ray films and all that. Sweet spot, nothing to worry about. You are sitting in a nice, comfortable spot and you are serving a particular customer and is very happy. That is what it is. Volcano. What is volcano? Volcano means that it's almost above red ocean. Can you imagine? So pain is very different. You have to struggle to please the customer. Delight is low. But TikTok, overnight, what did TikTok do? TikTok is no different from YouTube. TikTok is no different from Snapchat. TikTok is no different from Instagram. But he did something which is so unique that he was able to create a market for itself. That's what it is. Oasis is a market where you are stuck. The best example I can give you is, in the fight between Amazon and Flipkart. What is Snapdeal doing? Amazon says, I deliver fastest in the top 50 cities in India. Flipkart says, I deliver to 200 cities. So where is Snapdeal? What is its model? It doesn't know where to go on. It's stuck in between. You have to decide for yourself, what are you going to do? No man island. No man island is, you have a great product, but you're selling at the wrong place. You have a great product, but you're selling at the wrong place. The example is Bounce. Imagine if Bounce felt that the biggest market is for housewives dropping children to school. Is that the biggest market for Bounce? No, the biggest market for Bounce is people traveling by metro reaching office, people from office to metro. So they must have their scooters at premium office locations and in metro stations. But assume that you park your scooters in front of schools and in front of apartments. You may have a great product, but you're in the wrong market. So I hope this gives you an explanation. Yes? No?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, right. Okay. So are you guys done? Yeah.
Sir, one quick question. Sir, this assignment delivery, is it that we record and send you the recording, or will it be on?
Yeah, you record it and then give me the link to that recording, right? It will be in the cloud somewhere. It will be in your drive or in your Google Drive or somewhere, and then you give me the link.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So I also want you to know one more thing is that give me 2 more minutes and I'll complete it. Resume share. I think I don't have it. Yeah, but listen carefully. Read through the instructions carefully. Okay. Okay. I hope. Okay. All the best, and see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Go ahead. I cannot. If there's so much of noise, what can I do?
Yeah, one question that the action plan is divided in 3 parts. That is the simplification and hand-holding. Then second part is funding and support. So the question is that this startup funding, we have to, which bank will go and get the money, that we have to mention what is the funding part, related confusion. This is
Wait. Back to meeting. Resume share, new share, edited and updated. Yeah. What's your question?
Action plan up. It is up actually. First page. Yeah, down. Action plan divide 3 areas.
No. This is the story. This is the story. This is the story. This is your work. This is your work.
Okay, another question that we have to mention that
this is what you have to do. You from here is what you have to do. This is you from here. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, the Startup India, there is a different field, that is the agriculture, then is the machine for use our product as one part. Then we have to do our own site and link. This is the link we have to go, and we have to start up a new business. It's not similar the industry of the Startup India. Is it fine? Because I can't find my idea fit with any industry.
No. Okay. That looks like you haven't read. Looks like you have not read properly, but let me try explaining it to the benefit of you and everybody one more time for exactly 3 minutes. You will have to go to this link. If you can see the link, you have to go to this link or go to this link. There are 2 links that I have provided. Then choose any company of your preference. There are about 12 sectors in Startup India. There are about 100 companies in the startup toolkit. Select whichever you like. And having selected that, you will take over that company and create everything that I asked you about. Is it clear?
Okay.
No? Anybody else?
Yes, sir. We are following that only. In fact, what has happened was we were stuck up with VRIO and that Gantt which we had shared today. Now the subject matter is very clear.
Exactly. That's why
we were getting stuck with these 3 slides. The group.
Yeah.
Actually, we did a read up, but now after having gone through the exercise today, the clarity is there. Okay, and we'll be able to except for the SWOT analysis.
Don't attempt it till the class. Yeah.
Okay. But we started the exercise because there was a lot of.
Good.
We wanted to do the groundwork, to see the startups.
I felt that the choice available here was not good enough. When I started looking at it, I felt the choice of companies were not good enough. So I expanded the choice to about 100 of these.
So that we missed. Actually, we had gone through that link only.
No.
Within that particular
Exactly.
framework, we selected a company.
My apologies. I added this later.
Okay. So we've already
But sir,
chose...
now that, we'll go through that also, because what we were also finding it, getting that analysis of the companies which we have selected. In fact, we have gone to 3-4 segments also. We were not getting the right material, even when we were researching.
That's why I thought, let me give you a wide choice. Yeah. So it's okay. I'm sure you can do this. So, yeah. Any other questions? All answered, right? So I assume that you're all very clear now. One last chance for questions on the assignment. And I'll not encourage questions now outside in the WhatsApp. So any other, don't hesitate. There are no wrong questions. I want to tell you that.
Question from my side, Surbi Swain. I am really confused with the project they already present in the startup. How will you modify that way? That also a question, because it's already startup they awarded. How will go and do this experiment on that?
What do I tell you? There is a company. Where do you work?
I work for HCL.
HCL?
Yeah.
HCL as in HCL. Okay. But
HCL knowledge as IT.
Yeah. So there are, in which division do you work?
I work for Citibank. My client is Citibank. I work for banking domains.
You're working for banking domain. HCL has been doing business with Citibank for a long time. But why did they select you to do it? Why did they choose you? Why did they give you an employment? So that you come and do something slightly different, right? So, of course, this company has been selected. Of course, this company is working well. How do you improve the company? Are you doing well? Are you happy where they are? Are you happy? Are you happy with this company where they are doing? Or do you want them to be a just 10 employee company? Or do you want to make them a 100 employee company? This company which you have selected has 5 crore 10 turnover. How do you make that company have 500 crore turnover? So that is your job.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah. Anybody else? And this is most important. You have to, who is sitting in front of you? The investors and the founders both are sitting in front of you.
Our job is to
convince them. Yeah, and if I find your presentation not good, I'll say, forget this, I'll not invest into this company. And if I'm a founder, I don't think I like you as the marketing manager in my company. I'll look for somebody else. So you have to present me in such a way that I'm convinced that your plan will drive my company forward. Done. My job is to also scare you, among other responsibilities. Okay. All the best, guys. I assume the last question of the day, right? I'm open for one more.
Can we call you in if we need to and discuss with you if you get stuck somewhere?
Okay. Okay. Do one thing. Call me after 9 p.m.
Sure, sir. Okay. We will WhatsApp you and then we will call you, sir. Maybe.
Yeah. That'll be even nicer.
Sure, sir.
Because I work into the US working hours, so I would also prefer to.
So that means you will be available till morning 4 o'clock, 4 or 5ish.
Now, who's this? Who's this? I want to know. Give me your roll number.
God.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe. Lock in. Give me your roll number. No. I'm not that badly working on it. I have my colleagues in the US, so we have some common areas of discussion. So we appreciate each other's timing. So yeah, technically I go to bed around 11:30. If that's your question.
So sir, we'll call you after WhatsApping you.
Yeah, I'm absolutely okay if I can have a conversation with you at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I'll have no problem.
Sure, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Right,
this is Rahul here. I have a question for you. Okay, so when it comes to this part of the thing, sell your ideas in the form of Zoom or Google Meet presentation to one or both of the following audience, that founders and investors. Do you really want us to talk to those investors or like the founders of the company, or how is it exactly? Or we should assume that as if you're talking to the founders?
Assume.
Okay, so we are supposed to assume in such a manner, right?
I would like a sentence. So just to give you, see, as founders of this organization, I know you have taken this forward, but I'm sure as founders, you really want to quadrupulate your investment. So as founders, you may want to appreciate the idea that I'm giving you. As investors, I know you are investing into a startup, but trust me, if we do these things with your help and your money, you will gain 3x, 4x, 5x. So the idea is that I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible.
Got it. So we are supposed to present in such a format that, assuming you are our investors or you are our founders of the company.
Correct.
And we are supposed to present the assignment in the form that we have actually invested or we are part of that startup company.
Absolutely. And tomorrow you can go and tell that I did this. That's why I even said, if you want, you can even pick up the phone and call these guys and say, hey guys, what are you doing? We are trying to present. I'm saying you are encouraged.
That's what we were, that's what our group was assuming. So we thought we are supposed to contact the founders or investors, or we are supposed to present them.
You can even tell them, my assignment is your company. Yeah. What do you guys think?
We can get in touch with them. Right.
Yeah.
I got
it. You never know. You do a good job. They say, why don't you join us, man? We need somebody.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So that's
clear. Okay. Bye, everybody. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.